Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're diving into something really fundamental, how we figure out what's true. We're going to look at two totally different ways we try to understand the world and, our place in it.
So let's just jump right in with a huge one, right? How do you actually know what's true? I mean, really think about it. How do you start through all the noise out there and find the real signal? Well, in this explainer, we're going to explore two very different paths to get there, one of the mind and one of the heart.
All right, so first up, let's walk down the path of reason. Think of this as the detective's path. It's all about logic, hard evidence, and breaking things down. It's like building a toolkit for your mind so you can really dig into the world and see how it works. And this way of thinking isn't new, not by a long shot. It goes way back to guys like Socrates in ancient Greece. His whole thing was that you don't find truth by just believing what you're told. Nope. You find it by questioning everything, especially your own assumptions. You have to poke and prod and look for the proof. So that whole Socratic vibe, it's evolved into what we now call critical thinking. And just look at this definition. It's not a passive sport, right? It's an active, skillful process. It's like you're not just a sponge soaking up information. You're a detective, piecing together clues, analyzing facts, and building a case to get to a solid conclusion. And the really cool thing about this path is that it gives you actual practical tools. It's not just theory. Like, say you come across some new article or claim. You can run it through a simple checklist like this one. Who's behind it? Are they legit? Is the info actually accurate and based on real evidence? Does it tell the whole story? And, super important, is it even current? Just asking these 4 questions can make a world of difference in figuring out what's real. Okay, so this all sounds great. We've got our logic, our tools. We should be set, right? But what if there's a glitch in the system, a bug in our own mental software that can take all that careful thinking and lead us completely astray?
Well, there is one, and it's a big one. It's called confirmation bias. Basically, our brains are kind of lazy. They love taking shortcuts. And the easiest shortcut is to just look for stuff that proves what we already think is true. We naturally seek out information that confirms our beliefs, and at the same time, we conveniently ignore or dismiss anything that challenges them. It's a huge blind spot.
Want to see just how powerful this bias is? Let's try a little puzzle. This comes from a classic experiment by a psychologist named Peter Wasson from way back in the 60s. Okay, so here's the deal. I give you a sequence of numbers, 2, 4, 6. I tell you these numbers follow a specific rule. Your job is to figure out what my rule is.
So what do you do? To figure it out, you can test other sets of 3 numbers. Go ahead, think about it for a second. What 3 numbers would you test first to see if you've cracked the code? I bet you've got an idea already.
Ready for the reveal? The actual rule is just any 3 numbers in ascending order. Simple as that. But what do most people do? They immediately think the rule is add 2. So they test something like 8, 10, 12. And I'd say, yep, that fits the rule. Then they test 100, 102, 104. Yep, that fits too. See what's happening? They're only trying to confirm their guess. They're not trying to break it. That's confirmation bias in action. Our brains are wired to prove ourselves right, not to find the actual truth.
So that's a little unsettling, right? Even when we're trying our best to be logical, our own brains can trip us up. So if reason has these built-in bugs, what's the alternative? Well, this brings us to a totally different way of understanding things, a path that doesn't even care about external proof.
This second path, it's all about an inner, direct experience. It's a knowing that doesn't have to be translated into words or squeezed through the tiny little gate of logic. It's something you feel in your bones, not something you prove on a whiteboard.
And from this perspective, that feeling we sometimes have of being lost, of searching desperately for an answer, that might just be an illusion. I love this quote, "You only thought you descended." It suggests that maybe we never really lost our way. We just forgot for a moment that we were already home.
It's a really powerful idea, isn't it? The goal isn't about piling up more and more facts from the outside. It's about recognizing a truth that's already inside you. The search isn't a hunt for something new. It's an act of remembering what you've known all along. You could say this path of knowing operates on a completely different frequency. We all experience it, It's that gut feeling, that intuition, that little voice in your head. It's the artist who just knows when a painting is done. Or think about those scientists who have that aha moment after years of dead ends. It's a truth that comes from being, not from proving.
Okay, so let's pause and take stock. We've got two very powerful and honestly kind of contradictory paths here. One is all about looking outward, questioning everything. The other is about looking inward and trusting a deep sense of certainty.
Let's put them side by side. The path of reason is like a construction project. You're building your understanding of the truth, brick by brick, using logic and skepticism. The path of knowing is more like an act of recognition. The truth is already there, fully formed, and you just have to realize it. It's about trusting that inner compass. But here's the thing, right? They don't have to be enemies. In fact, some of the biggest breakthroughs in history happened when someone did all the hard work of reason, laid all the bricks, and then, bam, a flash of intuitive knowing provided that one final crucial piece of the puzzle. And that leaves us with a pretty deep question to chew on. When it really comes down to it in your own life, which do you trust more? The hard evidence you can hold in your hand, or that deep, unshakable knowing in your heart? It's easy to just pick a team and say, I'm a reason person, or I trust my gut. But maybe, just maybe, real wisdom isn't about choosing one path. Maybe it's about learning how to walk both, using reason as your map and that inner knowing as your compass.